Okay, so I'm making this video to express some of my frustrations, not just with movements that I've been a part of in the past, but also just jumping to conclusions in general. Um, and I'm going to block out the information of the person who posted this picture to Facebook so that nobody harasses this person. But I'm going to talk about what happened here. Um, Somebody who I'm a Facebook friend with, who is also Facebook friends with a bunch of my friends, um, they had a window busted out of their car in front of Panera Bread, um, and they posted it to Facebook. Right, and there are other contexts around this that I will share after I read the caption that he wrote. And he wrote, Romney Republican revenge terrorism at Panera Bread, Southgate this morning between 9:20 and 11:25. Evidently someone believes corporations are people and hates anyone who does not. Hole about 14 inches around was smashed in just above the bumper sticker. Other portions of glass fell out. Pups were in the van, so I'm sure it scared them. So much for free speech in Colorado Springs. Now, there are comments below that where many of our mutual friends have agreed with his sentiments. One of them says they don't call them Republican Nazis for nothing, and another one says, "I'm so sorry. Glad no beings were hurt. This is yet another excellent example of how desperate the reactionary wackos are feeling. I don't know about you, but knowing that makes me feel better." And then somebody responds to that, "Doesn't make me feel better because that makes them dangerous and unpredictable." Okay. So, from this post, I just want to say right now, I am not convinced that this was a Romney Republican revenge terrorist. Okay? And I'm going to give a few reasons. Number one being, you don't have to be a Romney Republican to be against what was on the bumper sticker. You could be a different kind of Republican. Um, Many Republicans would be of the more libertarian mindset that actually agree with the bumper sticker and still be Republican. Number two, just because there is a close proximity between a bumper sticker and a broken part of your car does not mean that that had anything to do with your window being broken. And I can give some other situations that are just as likely. Number one being that this Panera is in a shopping center where other cars are driving around. Maybe another car backed into the window and didn't want to pay for it, and so they just drove off. This happens a lot when somebody has something sticking out of the back of their flatbed truck. You know, where it could have been a 2x4 where it just went through. Um, it doesn't say in the post whether there was a rock or anything inside the window. Let's see, another situation that could have happened. You left dogs in your car. I don't see if there's glass on the outside or on the inside, and I don't know that glass being on the outside or inside would indicate whether or not it was the dogs that did it, because it could be something where the dogs were pulling at the glass to break it more because you left your dogs in your car for 2 hours while they, had this meeting that you went to. Another situation that could have happened would be you left your dogs for 2 hours in your car, and one of those really liberal people who love dogs and consider them additional beings worthy of respect on this planet maybe smash your window. Now, the context of the weather this day was not that of a super hot day where you'd be more likely to find this sort of behavior. It was actually a super cold day, like freezing. So, not giving that scenario too much weight, but still, it's a possibility. Another possibility would be that the meeting that you were in had a whole bunch of people who are atheists in a community full of Christians, and somebody saw what car you came in from, and they overheard you saying something that they didn't agree with, so they went outside and put a hole in your back window. Another possibility, and I'm not saying that this person is particularly a bad person, but maybe somebody in the group that you were part of disagreed with you and was having a conversation, got so mad that they went out and they put a hole in your car. Also a possibility. And I'm not saying that it's very likely because of personalities. I'm saying it is a possibility that has not been ruled out just by the information that I have received by this post. Okay? So we've got dogs did it. We've got somebody that you know that's part of your group did it. Somebody that just witnessed some of the goings on of the group that you were visiting did it. We've got somebody that is the exact opposite political beliefs that you are blaming could have done it. And somebody could have just done it on accident. Okay? And I didn't even talk about freak weather. Maybe a freak golf ball. You know? I don't know what went through the window to smash it if something was left behind. Don't know. What I do know, though, is that evidence linking this to Romney Republican revenge terrorism is lacking. It's non-existent. There's no evidence for that. You've jumped to conclusions. And I would like everyone to please, before jumping to the assumption that obviously the person who did this must be against the stances that I build my life around and talk about all the time, before you jump to that conclusion, just think for a second that maybe somebody just didn't want to take responsibility for their actions. And I wish that person had stayed there and or left a message or left their business card or at least something that would have told everyone why the window was broken. But I can see how if there were dogs in it that could have been hurt, that they would have been even less likely to want to take responsibility for it, because they might have been worried about, how much did they hurt the dogs, how much are they going to get sued for by a person who's obviously not happy with people who make money. Maybe the truck that had the board that went through the window, maybe that truck had a corporate logo on the side of it, It doesn't have to be that just because you have a bumper sticker that people are going to deface your car. I am going to have bumper stickers that express my opinion on my car, and I'm going to continue to do so. I do know that sometimes it happens. If you go to the Evolve Fish store, you can find they have pictures of people who send in their Darwin fish have had the feet broken off, and they've had their car keyed while they had one of the other than Jesus fish on their car. That has happened. Am I afraid that there's a terrorist group going around doing this as much as they can? No. Is it going to change my behavior? No. But some of the people who commented in this have said that this is the reason why they do not put signs on their car. They don't put bumper stickers on their car. This was a comment not on directly on the picture, but on somebody else's sharing of it. But this is one of the things that has unmotivated me from wanting to be part of a lot of activism that I have been a part of before, because I see a lot of this jumping to conclusions where I'm just not sold. In fact, I look at it as being propaganda in and of itself. I mean, just the way that it's stated. Romney Republican revenge terrorism. I just, I don't see it. And I want everyone to just, think before you just assume that it must be those people that you are completely politically against, for most of your life, and just assume that this is just retaliation for your beliefs. It could be anything until you find evidence to base your assertions on. Okay? Keep an open mind, people.